Hey, how you guys doing today? We're planting leeks. You want to come along for the ride? Let's do this. Okay, here's the plan. Outside garden bed. It's not as wide as the rest of them because it's just not as wide. So what we're going to do, we're just going to cut a chunk of the geotextile out with a utility knife. Then we're going to take the torch. We're going to torch the edges so it doesn't fray. I don't know how much space I'm going to need, so I'm going to do one section, and then if I need more, I'll cut more of that out. And then we are going to plant. I've been crushing it today, guys. Look at that. I got like 250 onions in today. There'll be a video out for that. Actually, you'll probably see that video before you see this one. We got about 50 peppers in the ground too. So where's the leeks at? So we're going to plant these beautiful leeks today. And I am trying a new planting method. I'll show you guys what we're doing with that when we get to that point. All right, let's get to cutting. So the tricky part here is on this side. I've actually put the geotextile out of the garden bed and onto part of the grass to keep nature off the bed. So I got to basically use my hand to feel where the garden finishes and the grass starts. I don't know if that's going to be enough room for all the leeks. Probably not. And you can see some green stuff growing in there. So I got to pick that out before we plant the leeks. And I got to torch the edges with my torch so it doesn't fray. So for those of you OG subscribers who've been watching my channel for a couple of years now, you know, I always like to try new things, right? I always like to try to find the optimum way to grow certain varieties of whatever to maximize my harvest at the end of the season, right? Because most of the stuff I grow, I don't eat over the summer except for cucumbers and tomatoes and the odd pepper and stuff like that, right? But the majority of what I grow with a plan specifically to harvest in the fall and process for the rest of the season. So in previous years, planting leeks, all I've done is I basically just pulled them out of the grow cells, used my thumb or whatever, put a little hole in the ground, put the root in the ground, cover it over, and just let them go, right? And harvest in the fall. Now, sometimes I get leeks thinner than my pinky, and I still get big fat leeks, but I don't get a lot of that really good tasty white part. So I started doing some research, and there's a new way that people are planting. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's new that I found. And what they're doing is they're taking something like this. So this is a broken edging spade handle, right? So what I did is I just took my hatchet and I sharpened the end. I didn't want it sharp. I kind of still wanted it a little bit blunt, but I wanted a point to drive into the ground. So what you do is you bury about 2/3 the length of your leek, half to 2/3 the length of your leek. My leeks are give or take 12 inches. So I'm gonna punch a hole about that deep into the ground, okay? Then all you do is you just take your leek and you just drop it into the hole and you leave it. You pour water in the hole, and I brought a special watering can with a long narrow spout on it so I can fill each hole. And all you do is you just literally fill the hole with water. Soil is going to collapse into that hole, right? And then over the course of the growing season, that hole essentially just kind of caves in on itself every time you water and with storms and whatever. And then at the end of the season, most of that leek that you planted in the hole, right, it's going to be buried with soil. And you just take your potato fork and you just harvest all these leeks, and you have a big long chunk of the white end of the leek. Basically everything that's been buried under the ground is going to be that beautiful white section of the leek. You don't have to backfill it. You literally punch holes, drop leeks in, and water. So why don't you come along for the ride? Let's do this. All right, let the process begin. I'm going to put, I think I'm going to do them about every 5 inches apart. Little trial and error here to figure out how deep we're going. Actually, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to go take a marker and I'm going to mark about 6 inches on here to take the guesswork out. All right, I didn't have a marker, so I just took my saw and I just scratched a little ring in there. So I'm just going to basically dig the holes up until the depth of that ring. So that seems to be working out pretty good. All right, I'm just gonna carry on and do the rest. So I got all kinds of holes done up to there. I'm not entirely sure how many holes there are, and I'm not entirely sure how many leeks are in there. So what do you say? Let's start planting some. And like I said, whoa. Sorry, I got a big water pipe here. There. All right, let's plant. I think we're gonna take the gloves off and let's see what we can do here. So just like that. Yeah, so far that seems to be working out pretty good, guys. I think I like this method. See, some of the issues I'm having here are I've got 2 leaks. Oh, there. I've got 2 leaks in some of these cells. So I'm just gonna have to untangle them. But see, leek roots are like onion roots. You see how thick they are? They're like little wires, right? So you can essentially just separate them, see, and plant them. Ow. All right. Oh, get off the water pipe. Okay. So I'm gonna finish the rest of this row, and if I have more leaks, we'll just cut out more and double more holes. I won't know till I get to the end. So we got them all in, all the way down, and you can see I haven't filled in any of the holes like you normally would with a plant. And then, hang on, let's see if I can do this and keep it in frame at the same time here. Let's see. Hang on. Give me a second. All right. Now I have a watering can with a tip on it instead of a big old watering can. And then we just water directly into the hole. And that's all we do. And that hole just basically collapses in on itself. Just like that. And then over the course of the summer, with every rain and as we water, it'll just continue to fill these holes in. And the roots are getting buried as I do this because it's pulling soil off the sides. So the roots are getting covered. And the holes are getting the holes are getting watered. I needed to water them anyways. Oh, look at that, we're driving that one right down into the hole. I think that's about it for that one. So if you guys watching this have ever planted leeks this way, let me know how it worked out. See, look at that one floated. I'm wondering if enough of the root's been covered though to keep the leek protected. See, we did this one, right? We did that one, and you can still see the roots. You know what? I think maybe we're just gonna knock a bit of soil into some of these holes. I like new planting methods and all, but I can't risk losing crops. We're just gonna help Mother Nature a little bit, I think. Or maybe I dug the holes too deep. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're just going to literally just knock a little soil in just to be on the safe side. Because if I lose these leeks and they die, I'm out an entire leek harvest. We don't want that. It could also be because the videos that I watched, they were planting these in their backyard gardens, and I'm pretty sure they were not planting pretty much directly into clay, which is mostly what the soil here is clay. And clay packs really hard when you put some force to it, and I used a dibbler on these and forced it into the ground, so there's a possibility that the clay is holding those holes open and not allowing it to collapse. That's what I think is going on here. See, we learn something all the time, guys. Gardening is about the journey, right? And learning. And I really make an effort to learn every year as I garden. I try to increase my knowledge, or my toolbox, as I like to call it. So I think this is just part of the learning process this year. But that's not bad. I mean, I'm not burying them. I'm just knocking some soil and some compost into the hole. See, like that one has got a root just freshly exposed. If I didn't bury that, that thing would be dead by tomorrow, because it's almost 30 degrees Celsius here today. It's pretty hot. Yeah. All right. Well, what we're going to do, guys, is I will just I'm going to knock a bit of dirt into the rest of them, and then I'm going to give them a watering, and I'm going to take some landscape fabric pins. So you guys have probably noticed I haven't pinned that edge out yet. So I got 8-inch pins, and I'm just going to go along and I'm just going to pin that edge down. So, all right, so what did we learn here? We learned that if you are going to plant leeks using this dibbler method, and you have a lot of clay soil, we learned that that clay soil will not really collapse into the hole when you water it. So if you had some really nice garden soil, I would assume that this would work really well. Not here. So what I've done is I've pushed some of this mushroom compost sort of soil blend into the hole, and then I've watered them, so you can see. So they're not full, right? Some of them, like this one here, I mean, there's 3 inches of hole left, but they're all watered, they're all in, and I'm done gardening for the day. So yeah, so grow baby grow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost dinner time, and I've been here since 9 o'clock this morning. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna call today a win. We got all the leeks in, we got all the onions in, and we got all the peppers in. And that's all I brought with me today, so we're hitting our markers. So, bam. If you guys found this leek video helpful, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video out, leave me a big thumbs up, and no matter what you're doing, make sure you're growing good food. See you in the next one. Peace out.